Hello and welcome to part 2 of Real Talk about Midlife, Becoming Ageless and Unstoppable along the Wise Woman Way. Society loves to tell midlife women that our best days are behind us, but that is so outdated and just untrue. Now, stories are so important for creating our lives, but what happens when stories collide? I think the best way that I can explain that is with a personal story. When I retired from my long-term corporate career in 2014, I was ready for my next adventure. I knew it was going to be great, the best time of my life. I was going to travel, I was going to get together with friends more than once a year, and I'd finally have time for all of those creative endeavors that I thought about, like silk scarf painting or doing the floral design with either real flowers or silk that I'd always wanted to do. Or maybe even starting a business of my own. But after about 6 months, I found myself in a real slump. And I was just binging on Netflix instead of registering for that drawing class that I'd always dreamed of. This was supposed to be an incredible time of my life. I just became very confused. When I looked outside of myself and looked at the stories that society was telling me, society is very physically focused. So in their story, older women are unappealing, valueless, and invisible, and pretty much relegated to the back of the room. But there was also the issue of language. Now, okay, there are a few disparaging terms that refer to older men, but there are a lot more that refer to women, and one of these is spinster. A spinster is an old woman who has never been married, never had children, and is now ready to just be pushed aside or put on the shelf. But the male counterpart to a spinster, according to society, is an eligible bachelor. So what happens when these stories just collide? So yeah, we become stuck. Unless we have an end around, like I did with the Wise Woman Way, which was a series of touchstones or sacred markers of transformation, which forever shifted my path along my midlife journey. And I'll be sharing more about that as we go along. So what can you do now? Well, reclaim your power by connecting to your past successes so that you can see the brilliance and the resilience that you've had every time you've bounced back. You can rewrite your future story and be excited when you do it. Say it out loud. It's actually a lot of fun to do that. And instead of saying, I think I'm too old for that, instead ask yourself, why not now? Right? Why not now? And that will give you permission to dream big. I'd like to remind you that if you haven't downloaded the mini guide or joined our Facebook group, Ageless and Unstoppable, the links to both of those are in the post above this video. So in closing, I just want to say, you are not too old, and it's not too late. You are ageless and unstoppable. A wise woman becoming. Thank you for being here today, and I look forward to being with you next time for more Real Talk.